Hello, this is episode 2.
Hello, this is messages for John.
That's
Officer
me.
Luera with Unified Police Department. I'm calling about case 199135.
I got a case of Girl Scout cookies?
I've spoken with John.
Oh.
He has informed me that he doesn't want you giving him a call anymore and doesn't want you trespassing at his house for whatever reasons. I don't know, but obviously he's concerned about issues. And so this is your formal information. If you have any questions regarding this case, please call me back at 801-743.
Oh my gosh, do I have questions? I'm going to call him back and find out what's going on with that. Because clearly, when I start buying a case of Girl Scout cookies, something's happening at night here. Not in control. Now that's our new friend who's calling to bookend my the last 60 days here of my baby being abducted. And that's the latest attempt to really sort of put a larger door between baby and me. And so that's why we're doing episode 2. My personal journal. We will fight. On this show, I have before me a letter from a law firm. I have not opened it. I'm just going to rip it open and hope it doesn't say something about me not doing what it is that I'm doing. I've also gathered some recordings over the week. I've talked to some attorneys. I've talked to the authorities here, each in their own different ways. Trying to give the cops more business. We will fight. We will fight. Also, we're going to give you some real perspective, and we're going to start this day off like I do now. Early in the morning.
Good morning.
And in the car.
Today is, let me find it.
Pay attention to the road.
Good morning. Today is Sunday.
It may not be where you are.
We're doing things differently. Every day I have quite a routine before I get to the resort. And I'm right in the middle of that. Honestly, today is one of those days where I traverse the mountain, and it's a travel day. There's a lot of downtime today, and so I wanted to have this be one of those episodes where it's on in the back, and you can kind of get a sense of what it's like to, go through this whole day, this first day of my new job as a mountain host, the Park City Mountain. Come along for a really good time today. As you know, life does its thing. It just is unrelenting. It's on its own terms. And, we'll have to just do life on life's terms. So often I get upset because I thought things were going to go one way and they're another way. That's not the way I wanted. There's lots of things like that, and there's always somebody to benefit for trucks going one way and trucks going the other way, even if they're carrying the same load. So crazy. So crazy. So the morning starts at today 5:30 a.m. today's the last day of taking care of the dogs, the wild animals. They are so beautifully trained. They did not bark at the door. They keep their distance. I don't know where they're doing their craps at night. And we've talked about that. But their house actually smells quite nice for the scene that you're looking at. As I said, oases of organization and pleasantness. So I had to get up super early so that I could do coffee and get him out running and chasing his ball a little bit in the morning, and then we go. He's on his own. It breaks my heart because Mama is still gone with baby, and he's all alone there. So I turn on some light classical music and make sure I have everything to be prepared for the mountain. And right now I'm in the car just entering Parley's Canyon. And this is the canyon that now I'm just minutes away from the ski resort. I'm probably at about 4,700 feet right now in elevation. And so this starts the climb. And what I've heard is that in other places, Denver and some of the ski resorts there, you have a long drive ahead of you if you want to go skiing. And at the end of the day, you have a long drive ahead of you. And it's bad enough here in Parley's Canyon, where it's really, right now, I'm seeing nobody is ahead of me on the road. I mean, immediately, within my headlights. And, you know, it's going to be 20, 30 minutes, and then I'm going to be at the workplace. On days when it's super crowded and it's crazy, yeah, sure. I mean, this whole thing, gosh, just getting from my workplace to the parking lot, my last shift, it took an hour. And maybe even more. And one of the guests got all kinds of upset. And if you, I'll need to talk to somebody about that today if I leave this rolling. Which I think I will. I mean, it's great to have first day and then just do the whole day, all, 8 hours of it. You'll notice that the radio is totally different. And that's good. You hear the stuff from dispatch, but you don't hear all of the patrol chatter, which was great. If you want to hear patrol chatter, you can go and check it out. You'll see that we just live in a nice, sunshiny, guest, front-facing world. And it's just great. Parley's Canyon is named after Parley Pratt, who was a Mormon surveyor. And it was really critical what route they were choosing for these types of things because of the interstate traffic that was coming into Salt Lake. And when they were making those choices, Brigham Young was at the helm of the state and of all the people because he was the church leader and also the state leader, because here in Utah, we don't mind mixing those things up. We don't mind it at all. Actually, we do. There's a whole lot of history to it, a lot of positioning and jostling, and about the railroad and how the interstate system followed, I-80 followed that transcontinental line. Roads are clear. There's snow that fell a few days ago, and it's still here, but the roads are nice and clear. The trees have all shed the snow, so they're it's not as picturesque.
Guys, I'm right here. That kid's just got a lot to say, I guess. So I'm just letting him go. But, before flowers start growing all around him, I want to tell you this great, wonderful thing that you're hearing right now. I got an electric drum set. And so now, well, I know, it's just the joys in life that we have to really savor. And I don't want to compare myself to the great master Neil Peart, but he did go through a phase where he really loved his electric drums. Oh, I just feel like we could summon Eddie Murphy with this one. So you'll see I'm not that great of a drummer yet. Neil, coming for you, buddy.
Guys, I'm super sad. Maybe you can tell. I haven't seen Mama and Baby for some time. They've been gone. And, it just really starts to break a man's heart to know that, your daughter's forgetting everything. All those guitar lessons. It's really tough. When you're going through these early stages, this new little human that just is so beautiful and bright. Our Christmas card this year just blew everybody away. So she's not a normal child. I know everyone would say that, but just her picture can just stir people. She's very special. Very special. So I try and tell myself, well, there's times that she'll go off to college, or she'll, be away for this period of time and time over again, off to camp or at school, or maybe I'll travel somewhere, or, have to go on some mission to save people somewhere where they need it. I can't imagine. I think all the people have been saved at this point. I think really we're just making them comfortable. Right? Sorry about that malaria. Here's some Maladrone. Trying to have some good dreams. This morning, I'm taking the sort of front way into the Park City resort area, sort of the city way. We're taking the front way, not the back way. I want to tell you that last time last time I worked here, there was a problem. And the problem is this. At this time of year, there's lots of guests. And that's the short problem. From a resort standpoint, what we're there to do as hosts is to make sure everybody's happy from the parking lot all the way to when they get home at the end of the day. And the last shift on Friday was no good. Some guests went home very disappointed about something that's evolved into something that it shouldn't be. Okay, so let me explain. As employees during this busy time of year, we are instructed, demanded that we park in these off-site parking lots, and then they bus us and shuttle us in. Munchkin is where, and then if you're too late, then you get bumped from Munchkin to the high school. And people park in the high school. The thing is that similarly, the guests, when the resort lot fills completely up, the guests now will have to park at the high school, and a resort shuttle will handle their to and fro, right? All so far so good. The pinch is when there's too many people and there's not enough shuttles. And the evolution is that there was an employee shuttle. As near as I can tell, it was just for employees, but people started asking, hey, you going to the high school? And, you know, these are new people. What are they going to do? How do they know? Are you an employee? I mean, it's going to be rude. Oh, sorry, you're a guest? Well, no ride for you. We're in this really weird position where we have to just, you know, not say things like that. It used to be that the shuttle would then stop at this stop for the employees up near where the employees are, but now the guests have mobbed the shuttle before it can even make the turn. And then they fill it up. So they can't pick up employees. When it comes to pick up employees, it's too full. You can see how this is no good.
I can see. We can all see that you'll keep talking about it too. So, drum break. Oh. Let's all just clench our fists and just punch rainbows. Little Neil Peart rainbows. Oh, you remember those? You've got to remember those. We're at the top exchange of the gondola, the mid-station, and about to do the descent onto the canyon side. And I can tell you it is the most beautiful, gorgeous day. I can see all of the Wasatch Mountain peaks, the whole valley, this just prehistoric landscape. It's so absolutely stunning. Today we have a fresh blanket of beautiful new snow from the heavens above. And on today's show, also from the heavens above, I'm going to allow you to listen and hear the voice of God. Today on the show. And I know there's a catch, because there always is, isn't there? In this state, if you're a professional person, you're about to hear the voice of God, the person who decides whether or not you are a professional person. I want you to listen very closely to his godlike, deep, and very effective voice. Now, I have no authority. He has no real authority over most people who aren't, professionals. Right? You might live somewhere. You might be retired. This guy might be 40 years from now. He has no authority over anybody, but he does have authority over people who are professionals and do not behave professionally. I don't know. Somebody thought, I know. I'm going to get myself in the middle of that. Well, it's a State Department, and I had no idea these people existed or anything like that, but...
And this van driver that he was yelling at, that van driver was restraining. He was like the pit bull of people. You know how you see these guys, and like, that dude looks like a pit bull person. He probably has 3 pit bulls at home. They're all just trained to kill on command. So everybody knows who this guy is. Fucking hothead. Alright, so it's going to be quiet for a while, guys. And I'm at the resort. They're making snow. They're blowing snow. It's going to be a beautiful day. I'm going straight to the locker room to get the day started and then getting my stuff on. And then we have our meeting at 8 o'clock. That's in a while from now, about a half an hour, 40 minutes. And I'll just be getting out on the hill when the show is ending, this first show. I think I'll roll, and then I'll start my traverse over to the canyon side. It's going to be an amazing season. Only because the way that season 1 unfolded, I just had no idea. And so there's some things in season 2. I just can't wait to see how this all unfolds. So stay with me. Here we go.
from way over the pole, flying in a big airliner. Chickens flying everywhere around the plane. Could we ever feel much finer? Coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Don't touch my bags if you please, Mr. Customs Man. Yeah, there's a guy with a ticket to Mexico. No, he couldn't look much stranger. Walking in the hall with his things and all, smiling said he was the Lone Ranger. Coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Don't touch my bags if you please, Mr. Customs Man. Oh yeah, let's go. A woman walking on the moving floor, tripping on the escalator. There's a man in line and she's blowing his mind, thinking he's already made her. Coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Don't touch my bags if you please, Mr. Customs Man. Alright now, from London, from way over the pole, flying in the big airliner. Chickens flying everywhere around the plane. Could we ever feel much finer? Coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys. Don't touch my bags if you please, Mr. Customs Man. Yeah!
Okay, time.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I wasn't expecting your call. I am taking your advice and just trying to rest.
Just checking on you because we didn't end so well. You doing okay?
I've been led to believe and know that there's nothing you can do. When somebody, their negligence causes you damage, then, you know, they need to make it up. You know, they steal your cow from you, or they break your fence, or whatever. And, you know, this person used his authority as a doctor to fudge the rules a little bit, and for a long period to realize maybe it wasn't such a great idea. And the effect now has been the addiction of that, to the point where that addiction hasn't been ended by all of the pressure from now 2 pastors from our church. The authorities who went up when this abduction happened because of my pressure about Ambien. Then we've gone to the clinical approach, talked to all of the doctors to tell Mom, hey, I have a letter from the pastor telling Mom, hey, you gotta do, you know, you know. We blew through those people, unfortunately, and she wouldn't. Days ticked by, the holidays. You remember, you've been here with me. I got dogs on the holiday. Our stories are starting to collide right now because what everybody has said is that that's the only person that can sue a doctor in this state for damages for their negligence. You can't. PL. Let's hear what the voice of God has to say to me. My God, a Gentile. I mean, he's my only hope. Yes, and I'm grateful and thank you, and I don't want to do anything to get in the way of now that effort.
Oh, this is my song. Look, here's how it works. I hit things with my clenched fist on this drum set, and it makes these songs.
Great. There is a run, I'm told, on Condor with the word Aspen in it. But I thought you were so funny the first thing, how you were so quick to say Vale doesn't name any round.
No. It's abducted.
Abducted.
Yeah, it's not Aspen, I think, as far as I know.
Yeah.
So it's a glade area.
Listen to this. Oh, I mean, smell that. And then it's called Sasquatch log, and you can see Sasquatch has left a log.
Stoner talk. He is just the greatest. Our president has declared it a national... it's a national emergency now that his wall is not built. Nope, no national emergency. Children, migrant or otherwise, illegal, separated from their families. Not an emergency. In fact, we need the emergency wall between them, I guess, so that there's not even... I don't know. Will somebody get him on the phone? Can we get him on the phone? I mean, I could do his voice if he won't answer.
And maybe guitars from Bon Jovi and also from Air Supply that showed up.
The guy who showed up from Air Supply, I'll tell you who that is Johnny. Yeah, Johnny Lightfoot.
What are you doing?
He was the bass player, huh? And he had dark hair and he looked like a Three Musketeer. Probably had
What are you doing?
Mustache.
Yeah, he had a wig on. Well, somebody had a wig on.
No, she's talking. She met like the real Air Supply, and this is me. I record these things. It's true, but he didn't have to end up on this show.
I'm a lot of gloves.
Anyway.
So I work with the Breen.
I can't believe I brought this up. Sorry, Johnny. If you ever hear this, I apologize. I love you. Love your music. You can see I just want to bring you up in conversation so people think I'm really cool, that I know you.
Where I get any of my good
I know
flat picking chops are gonna
one of the Musketeers.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm just
I guess I'm just stuck at a sign all day.
insecure with this new job. I don't know any of these people. I am desperately trying to
That, exactly.
force these people to like me, have some reason, if not for the things I give you.
I have no clue.
Well, I promised you that I would read this letter, so I guess I'm going to read the letter now. Okay, this is the letter from the missus.
Your eyes and fall asleep when I kiss your lips.
Haven't heard from her for over 60 days. And this is how she's going to communicate with me. I've come forth and said, hey, you know, I'm worried about you and baby. Something's wrong.
Trying hard not to show it, baby.
Our law is hereby giving you notice that your previous course of conduct is caused or is causing blah blah. Hereby put on notice that if you continue to do this conduct, blah blah, harass, defame, it will be considered stalking, a civil or criminal action. So they're trying to, yeah, like my attorney said, they're going to try and put me in jail now for speaking the truth. Alright, at this point, quest that any communications you have with her should be limited to discussing your daughter and your daughter's care.
There's no tenderness in your eyes when I reach out for you.
Alright, please find the definition of stalking under Utah Code 765-1065.
Starting to criticize the little things the little king wants to do.
And they've sent all of this stuff to the law that I'm a stalker now. So I'm a drug addict that needs to be put in a drug institution, and I'm a stalker now. And that I'm causing or has caused to suffer emotional distress. I love my wife. I would never want to cause her or anybody in this whole, even tiniest of bugs, emotional or any sort of discomfort or stress. Unsubstantial reports to the Division of Child and Family say, hey, they took the case. And not only that, but yeah, she admitted to, yep, I'm still using Ambien. It's not as effective anymore. Now that my husband's shut it all down, and yeah, still sleeping next to baby like the doctor said not to. Alright? Contact sisters, oh, they got the letter. And defaming her? I did not defame her. She defamed herself when she drove drunk in my front yard. Right next to my baby's wall. Both my neighbor Tom and my good friend David has told me that during this time she's been sending them multiple texts. How's Gib? Is Gib home? Is his car there? Stalker? Really? I just am trying to really wrap my head around something that I think mostly because I know anybody looks at this and has the same, comes away with the same thoughts that I do. And they're looking at me like, well, you're not telling us something, mister. I just can't go wrong. Because I don't have a reason to go to a drug rehab facility right now. So you can see there was no scene from abducting baby. And now they have resorted to sending the police and then threatening to me that they're going to make it my last day. Can you believe this? Hey, that wellness check you did? I know you guys said he was well. You need to go back and make it and cause more, stir the pot. Put your purple gloves on. Put more people in there. See if you can make it his last day.
Gone, gone, whoa. Baby, baby, I get down on my knees. That's how much I love you. That's how much I love you, sweet baby.
I would wake up in the morning after having a night of putting my passed out wife to bed, only to have her get back up again and put her back to bed again. And of course she's got all kinds of who knows what's in Rain Man. And the point is and it's the same thing that happened to the sister. It gets to that point in the middle of the night. So don't let it slip away. And the man, if he has anything left in him, says, nope. You want to push it to that level? Then it's yours to keep. Some people have to push the button. They have have to go nuclear. 1.618.
Gone, and I really fucking can't go.
Hers to lose. And she has. Both of us. Now that these have been spoken, they've been materialized, they've manifest into moving particles of particles. Well, then it's not trapped up in me anymore. I know it's out there. It's as if I've said it, and it needs to be said.
All kinds of people get trapped in that. If you're not paying attention, you just get sucked into that, huh? Yeah. You're skiing along and all of a sudden, whoa! Well, anyway, they seem to be having a good time. Maybe they're going to be up there again. We want that same guy with the water. He was good. He was good. I like that guy. I like the cut of his jib. What's his name? Jib? Jib? Well, whatever it is, I like the cut of it. Send him to my office. I want to give him a raise. He's up to $12.35 now.
Push it all the way to 1240.
$12.40. Wow. Thanks, disembodied voice. This is my voice. I figured he's got a gruff voice, right? I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. Talk like that.
Twice I've put skis on the gondola with them.
Oh, have you? I've talked to him a couple times.
Stand around their butt.
Did you smoke dope with it?
That would be the thing. If I was like his smoked open buddy,
Yeah.
or dope for whatever you'd call it, right?
Yeah.
Did you bring the good stuff, kid? What you got? What in? We're gonna ride the magic dragon today, buddy.
End up on Vans and Silver Road.
I have tried so gently to do this, so gently. I don't know how anybody could have done it any differently and come out where I am not looking just a little loony or whatever. But I'm not here to justify my looniness. I think that, like I said, that's the only thing keeping my feet on the ground here, boys and girls. I asked gently, months and months, and I don't want to be the person ever to tell somebody what they should be doing, to badger them about their intake or whatever. I don't want anyone doing that to me. They have no right to tell me what's going in is bad, as long as everything coming out's just fine. That's just not even what Jesus said. So, no, I don't do that, and so I never did. When baby came along and it was for real, there was just an amazing amount of anxiety. Did you tell me what your name is?
Bobby Joe.
Bobby Joe in Heber City. How long have you been in Heber City? Is that right?
No, it's
Wrong, you're lying, standing here lying.
It's artificial, it's fake.
I'm a huge fan of Heber City. In fact, it's best that you know that I am Heber D. Creeper.
Hey, that didn't sound good.
No, I didn't mean for it to sound good. It's not my goal. I'm Heber D. Creeper, all right? It's not like I'm bragging or anything. It's just the way it is. And she knows. Everybody knows. The thing is that it's so ridiculous to watch these people pretend like we don't know. They haven't known, like, God, when's the day gonna come when he just can't put up with this anymore? You just know there was people in the family that had those thoughts. We all had those thoughts. I had the when's the day gonna come when I'm not gonna be able to do this anymore. especially on the family vacations when they could see that they thought it was really funny that her hair's getting in her soup and she's still eating it or whatever the hell. And I am like, you know what? You guys get her. You guys put her to bed tonight. I've been trying for so long to just gently show them and get some support. Even if everything got restored, do you understand? I would still be like, oh my God, are you people really? You sat there and told me that I was your brother and blah, I love you and all this blah, blah. I haven't done anything to cause offense to these folks. And they should see that I'm turning the other cheek for one, and also on a mission for the safety and the love of my wife and my baby. What is wrong with that? So if you're not with me, you're against me. I can understand that I might not have credibility with some people, but what I will say is that time's running out from that position, and that's the wrong side of history. If I weren't telling the truth, I wouldn't be publishing it and telling it to police while I was publishing it. And then to hear the gloating when all this happened of my family. Oh, we were right, weren't we, Gib? You're such a god-awful person. We always told, now they're like, they come right out way too early, like, we always told her you were going to leave her a single woman and blah, blah, and all this stuff. And I'm like, you know, you should probably listen to the show. And they did. And sure enough, just like everybody else, came around and started to realize that they were on the wrong side of history. Those shows, those early shows when I thought maybe they're listening and they'll be like, Gib, can you really tell me what's, I'll put everything behind us right now. If you just tell me what's going on. What phonies. Honestly, that you have to draw lines in life. If you rest your soul on the foundations of lies, no matter if it's your own self, it crumbles. I know. I'm living it from personal experience. Point is, and foundation of this show is we don't need to make those same mistakes again. We can turn the lights on in our lives and we can say, you know what? I see that my forefathers all drank alcohol. I can see that they got drunk and were promiscuous, and I'm alive because of that. I'm alive because great-grandpa Gibson Thornley was kicked out of West Point for cigarettes, and he went and had a baby in 1913. I'm alive because of cigarettes. All we've been able to do is reach this level. Okay, fathers, unite. This is it. We haven't ever really broken past this barrier that's created at this point in the legal, the domestic legal system. And so now my best chance is that the courts are going to label me a visitor. My wife is going to be, I never considered anything other than the golden, beautiful woman that she was. I may be, it's possible, but I think it would be hard unless I do more shows or something. You know, for jets to be scrambled and me to be hauled off in some sort of thing. But I will tell you that is what they want, because they know that there's nothing. I have no problems. But as soon as they can get me in behind their walls and start putting all kinds of stuff in me and getting me protesting, riled up, and all that stuff. No, it's the same reason Bill Wilson wrote the book. And I'm doing this. It's to just do one more day and keep it classy. That's why I'm not on anything. That's why I don't take anything. I'm not warranting anybody coming to do that kind of stuff today or anytime during the life of my baby. I'm here to raise baby. I'm the adult in the room. I'm sitting here waiting for things to happen. And instead of saying, oh, I'm not going to Singapore, like a quick, hey, you know what? We're not going to Singapore. Or, hey, I'm going to Singapore, and we've decided here's the plan, what to do with baby, or whatever. There was just nothing. So this is their next scene that they try to set up so they can send police to my house and end my day. It's not my style to rapid text people, rapid call people. I don't do that. What I did do was my impersonation of my wife when the little simple thing like that comes to her attention. So I was I was mocking her, and they could all see that. And it was all very offensive to them, because four of them were in the same house. I call the dad. No answer. Huh, that's strange. Let's try mom. Call her. No answer. Maybe she's talking to dad. Call sister. She knows things. She got nothing else going on. Nope, no answer. What about the home phone? Let's try that. Maybe they just all have their phones off or something. Maybe they're vacuuming. Maybe they're having a family vacuum session up there. So instead of resolving this problem the next day with me or over the phone or at any point at all, ever, I got a note the next morning that said, we're not going to Singapore. Stop contacting me. And by then, that's when the father had called the cops, and the cops left me that message I played for you at the top of the show. God, I called him twice in his whole life to find out if my daughter is going to be whisked away to Singapore, or if those two just gramps up there is going to be handling baby all alone, and if he needed any help. Instead, I got this letter that I've just read to you. They went and spent their day at some law office, spent a bunch of money to pay attorneys to write that shit for a letter that means nothing right now to me. I can't. Future guy here. Important to point out that now she's claiming that she did go to Singapore in a little bit more official language. I went right after the next level of authority. We've gone through the family. This church tried. They wrote a letter and said, Mom, you need to do... Failed. Well, I went to the family doctors quietly. Family friends quietly. Didn't work. Now I've had to go to prescribers. And because her employer allows her to get... I've gone in the car with her to her boss's house to pick up Ambience. Okay, so I know that for a fact. They would have to prove that I don't know that for a fact or something.
To repeat a message, or 0 to speak with an information specialist. If you have concerns or
her sweet Mormon boy boss was this sweet now guy, and now after all these years he drinks like you wouldn't know and never sees his family. It's the most depressing thing to see what's happened to these people for all of their riches that I have no... So yeah, I had to send her a letter that said, look, I need to know if... I had called and said, look, is my wife going to Singapore? I just need you to answer that. I taught guitar lessons to your son. I come to your house every single week. I know you like a personal, close sister friend. need you to answer this question, or it's going to get so big for you.
Thomas, I'll be your guys for government information.
Nothing.
How can I help you?
Hi, Thomas. Thanks.
When you go to the Department of State website, it says in plain English, if you have reason to believe that your child is in the process of being abducted by a parent, legal guardian, or someone acting on their behalf, there are steps that can be taken to prevent the abduction. Immediate steps you can take include
despite
And where has you taken the child to, sir?
Well, right now it's always just been at Grandma's house up the street, and so I haven't been concerned. But now I believe that it's possible that she or both of them are going to go to Singapore, and so I've become very concerned.
I'm sorry that you're dealing with that situation, sir, but if they haven't left the United States, the Department of State can't intervene. There are some prevention tips on our Department of State webpage. We get calls, we get hundreds and thousands of calls like this weekly.
Not surprising.
Abductions. So we know that the child is taken out of the country, we connect you with the country officer. They know the guidelines of trying to get your child back into the United States.
Got it. Thanks, friend. I apologize for taking any further time.
Instead, these people lawyer up. I have one, well, not one last, but I have the next one, and it's going to be the voice of God. And I've promised you the voice of God.
Mr. Barry, this is your top doppel calling to inform you we have looked into your complaint concerning your wife seeing her father as a prescriber for controlled substances. We looked into that allegation.